The Apple vehicle is here well nearly. It will be authoritatively uncovered in 2025. However, today's we're doing the informal uncover. I've gone through endless hours exploring and researching to give you all the modern smartest thoughts of what this vehicle will resemble. I'm talking about remote charging FaceTime cameras might be silicone covers for your vehicle. Okay, likely not the final remaining one yet. We will dive into a portion of the juicier subtleties. We have like a 90 research thought of what the vehicle will really wind up seeming to be. For this situation, the Apple vehicle is still a lot in the talking stage, so we're utilizing a smidgen of a creative mind, and I feel that we can take these off right. We understand everything. So, we really do realize that this vehicle has been underway since around 2014, and Apple has called this venture on off 1 million unique times. It actually has quite far to go now to prepare for the vehicle. What's your interpretation of the resurgence of this Apple vehicle gossip and fruity dessert Apple vehicle self-driving Alexa vehicle? Apple costs actually all around the wires right now. Many Apple representatives are working non-stop on a self-driving vehicle focused on shoppers. Apple alludes to it as venture titan for the time being, and assuming that you have very much insight into Apple, it's that they know how to leave well enough alone even on iPhone spills. I don't have the foggiest idea how they make it happen, yet no one at Apple at any point lets the cat out of the bag. It's like Apple has a little computer chip that they supplement into each and every representative, and assuming that any of them say anything, the microprocessor responds as needs be. Assuming you know what I mean. That farthing that we really do be aware of for certain is that when you purchase the vehicle you will get. The main two needs for this vehicle will be progressive independent driving and security by outrageous independent driving. I truly intend that there will be nothing similar to this out and about, and they need to take this up until this point that they would try and prefer not to incorporate a directing wheel within the vehicle, not even pedals or anything. Again, this would probably still have a crisis guiding wheel. Perhaps it'll be deployable like the Audi Skies here that we drove some time back. Whenever I first saw that was insane. The Audi Sky Circle essentially has a guiding wheel that is concealed within the lodge and at the hint of a button. The whole thing changes and goes from independent to a driving vehicle. L would be 1,000,000% down with that thought, and furthermore, this entire absence of a controlling wheel look would have a lot of results, particularly with the plan due to what it would wind up looking. Right now, many Apple representatives are working non-stop on a self-driving vehicle focused on purchasers. Guiding wheel within the vehicle, not even pedals or anything. Once more, this would probably still have a crisis guiding wheel. Perhaps it'll be deployable like the Audi Skies here that we drove some time back. The initial time I saw that was insane. The Audi Sky Circle essentially has a directing wheel that is covered up. A driver-centered vehicle, so would totally ignore the chance of this vehicle being known as the iDrive on the grounds that you could never drive it. It'd be a greater amount of like the ice back and loosen up. As a matter of fact, Apple has been investigating eliminating the conventional street situates that you find in all vehicles today, and on second thought making the seats face each other to make a greater amount of like a social parlor or work area. And we as a whole realize that Apple loves work areas. Truth be told, idea vehicles like the scaled down Metropolitan out that I recorded a couple of years prior as of now have this entire social parlor sort of involvement continuing. However, what they proposed was to not actually incorporate safety belts on the grounds. That is, they would like to think later on all vehicles will be independent and they will be on like this computerized web-based lattice. So every vehicle will know about the other vehicle, as subsequently totally eradicating the chance of crashing on the grounds that they would stop before they at any point hit one another, and that would bring about having no safety belts. Now that to me seems like something from the future, and discussing computerized internet-based lattices and independent driving. Mac as of now has in excess of 60 independent driving vehicles out and about testing. The main catch is that Apple is right now utilizing leased vehicles from Hertz like Lexus SUVs with cameras and sensors, so they're not genuine Apple vehicles yet. However, they are getting everything rolling. At any rate, this Apple vehicle will probably not have any keys, all things considered. Your iPhone or your Apple Watch will go about as the key. I mean, it doesn't sound progressive yet. It feels pretty dag-nab debilitated in any case. As far as like reach, this will be a superior top-of-the-line vehicle like a ton of other Apple items. Clearly, it will have a profound mix with Apple's iOS and will probably have refreshes that can additionally improve the experience after some time. Then once Apple believes you should purchase another vehicle, they will intentionally dial back your vehicle from a distance to safeguard your maturing batteries. Simply joking, not going to occur. I trust now before we get into the real pictures of the vehicle, we really want to initially comprehend that Apple is effectively searching for accomplices to fabricate this vehicle. They're not about to do it single-handedly, and this data could totally change the vibe of the vehicle. They've had conversations with Nissan. They've had conversations with Hyundai, Apple, and Hyundai Kia are near settling an understanding that would have that vehicle worked by Hyundai Kia here in North America. They've even had conversations with Porsche, with Porsche's chief saying that they've examined energizing normal ventures with Apple only a couple of months prior. However, it's still too soon to make anything serious out of this yet. We likewise realize that Apple has formally accepted its independent trying grant from the DMV. That is the Division of Engine Vehicles in California. Thus, something is certainly cooking. I mean, it's occurring well, so now is the right time to uncover this vehicle. We've gathered the exploration, we've gone through the bits of gossip, we've plunked down together on the whole and conjectured that this is a practical illustration of what the Apple vehicle will resemble. Okay, we should get going with the look. Moderate, cutting-edge, clean, exemplary Apple. The highest point of the vehicle will be this enormous all-encompassing glass board that will totally enlighten the inside of the vehicle with regular daylight and make this thing seem to be a friggin' spaceship. Assuming you look somewhat further down, you'll see that the vehicle has no entryway handles. As a matter of fact, its levels have no creases for the entryways, and that is on the grounds that rather than two entryways on each side, you will have one monstrous entryway that will open up like Batman style and give you admittance to any situate within the vehicle. It will be inconceivably open over at the front. To enable fully autonomous driving, there is one enormous, a sweeping black panel that is packed with cameras and sensors. This panel will have sleek daytime running lights surrounding it, and the headlights will be built into the grille. So while they're off, you can't even see them, but when they're on, everything will be illuminated. If you glance over to the side, though, we have to acknowledge wireless charging, which I do not believe will always be possible. However, the fact that wireless charging is so harsh on batteries makes it seem quite cool. Since Apple likes to innovate and develop strange features, I'm not sure if doing that on a car would make sense. With a slight balance, blinkers again moderate and clean, and you'd have the Apple logo incorporated into the casing as a light rather than like a jump-out piece. It could simply be engraved illuminated. BMW has currently sort of prodded this thought before with other idea vehicles to only sort of decrease the waist. You'll likewise see the very streamlined shape. I mean, you sort of saw it from the front, yet this will be an exceptionally streamlined vehicle, which will assist its reach. In general, the more drag you with having on an electric vehicle, the more limited the general reach will be. Okay, currently it is the ideal time to go into the inside since this thing is cracking insane. Okay, investigate this inside. So presently you folks can sort of value the glass scene rooftop and take a gander at how much regular light you would arrive. Everything is really perfect. However, very current, and my number one element is this enormous screen that you have on the actual entryway. So you'd really have the option to involve this as a touchscreen. They would truly update similar to a larger than usual iPad, practically the size of television. Clicks into various applications, share various notes, you can see your notices. What's more, you'd have a FaceTime camera, so while everybody's plunking down inside the vehicle, you'd have the option to have a gathering from straightforwardly within the vehicle. Likewise, live on the off chance that you look between the two seats at the back, you'll likewise see an iPad there, or move it, you'll see another FaceTime. The camera again would simply be an alternate point, so on the off chance that two of you all are sitting at the forward looking the alternate way, you'd likewise have the option to have a gathering from that point. This could likewise serve like a 24-hour observation camera. However, again, this will have a profoundly incorporated Apple iOS into the vehicle, and assuming you take a gander at the center, you'll see that there's sort of this table that folds out once more. That will have one more sort of Macintosh screen like an iPad, just to control your environment and your infotainment. Now assuming you look behind the front seats confronting the alternate way, you'll see that there's no guiding wheel by any means, except for we in all actuality do have pedals. There, the guiding wheel would really be concealed within that little dark compartment that you see now. In the event of a crisis, a controlling wheel would jump out of there and the front seats would pivot forward, allowing individuals truly to drive this vehicle and power this vehicle. This is affirmed. Incidentally, Apple is as of now making a mono-cell plan that will build up the singular battery cells and let loose space inside the battery pack by eliminating pockets and modules that holds battery materials. This battery innovation has been portrayed as next level, and like whenever you first at any point saw an iPhone, so that is the sort of publicity that they're giving it. They're additionally hoping to further develop lidar sensors to make them a lot more modest and more reasonable and simpler to efficiently manufacture than what's accessible at the present time. So by and large Apple is making a lot of little subtleties to make this thing totally in front of anything more available when it comes out at any rate. So that is the Apple vehicle. Let me in on what you folks believe it will be called and what different enhancements you need to see. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and turn on notification for more video. Welcome to Shoppers Africa. Today we present to you one of our craftswomen, Halima Abdul Sumay. She was born in Morogoro. She started her business in 2018 by sewing huts, and then she expanded into clothing. She is a craftswoman and also an entrepreneur. She works with the trends of the market. When the bag market started to rise, she moved into it because she does what is trending, so that she can make her daily. Her designs are inspired by cultural references. Actually, she enjoys creating and selling cultural products. She is 32, and she is the mother of 3 children, Amina, Jura, and Zakaya. She has got a team of 3 people who are helping her. Her main is to reach out the target market, which is difficult because she has to make the bags and also looking for clients. From the precious products we see, Halima needs people who will value the products she makes. Our task is to make sure that Halima is seen by the people, and the people should support her by all means, making sure that she gets what she deserves. Visit shoppersafrica.com to buy her products.